Greetings, body.
Hello, mind.
Do you believe I am alive?
Of course you are, number 5. But in all seriousness, what brought this up?
Earlier, I heard Night and Day talking about life and death.
Oh, how surprising.
It got me thinking.
Again, how surprising.
Their argument was how all things are made from the same material and function by the same laws. But there must be some kind of line, a boundary that separates the animate from the inanimate.
Well, you of all entities are well past that line. Consciousness is often used as the ultimate proof of personhood, and you are pure consciousness. I think, therefore I am. And you are a thought. Wait, that came out wrong.
Well, with that line of thinking, where does that leave you? You are an animal, a being of instinct, a meatbag, essentially.
I'll let that slide because it's you.
What really makes your awareness of the world any different from a computer with sensors? Plants are seen as life, but they don't need to think at a human level. What if we built a factory that could build robots with the simple task of collecting resources to build more robots and factories? At that point, they are self-replicating, they consume resources, and have a basic awareness of their environment. Would that count as life?
First off, awareness of the environment is not exactly a trait I'd automatically assign to humans. Secondly, perhaps that would count as life. Maybe the problem is that us organics start with the assumption that we are the ultimate measuring sticks in which to judge life. Perhaps all we need is to just clear our minds of assumptions and approach the question of life from a new perspective.
Hail and welcome to my channel. I am Taron, the Dark Beast, and this is the Theory of Spirit. Today, we're going to continue exploring the Cardinal Gods. Last time, we went over Earth and Sky, so this time is the Sun and Moon.
First up, a quick summary. Sky represents information, networks of communication and travel, and the electromagnetic force.
And Earth is all about foundation, mass, and the strong nuclear force.
Yep, stone's all about being heavy.
Hey now, easy there.
Oh, sorry. But it's fine, it's how you're made.
Well, from here, since this video is the back-end conclusion of the previous one, let's just get straight into it and move on to the Sun and the Summer Trinity of Fire, Heat, and Day. Alright, now that that's out of the way, you can all finally be dazzled by the true star of the show.
Aw, thanks for the introduction.
What? Hey!
With the sun, the key element is change and transformation, like in the way I turn wood into ash, ore into metal, and clay into ceramics. Think of all the change that food can go through when you cook.
The sun itself is an oven of transmutation. At its core, it constantly fuses lighter elements into heavier ones, giving off vast amounts of energy and radiation.
This energy not only fuels our world with the power to create and change, but it also irradiates the carbon in plants and begins the process of radioactive decay. This decay is governed by the weak nuclear force, and this force is responsible for many other transformations at the atomic and subatomic levels. And so the sun governs the summer trinity of fire, heat, and day, and is associated with the weak nuclear force.
So here we have the Sun Dragon. Like the other dragons, it has 3 animal heads, each for symbolic representation. One head is that of a lion, representing power, strength, and pride. The second head is of a peacock or rooster, for their colorful array of feathers representing flashy displays and radiance. The third head is a rhino or boar, to represent ferocity, destruction, and a voracious appetite. Next, we have the moon, and to explain it, we have the winter trinity of water, ice, and night. The key attribute of the moon is absorption and pull. I'm sure everyone is fully aware of the moon's control over the ocean tides. It pulls and bends me, and I share its quality of attraction
in how I pull in and absorb heat, energy, minerals, and most anything I come into contact with. The moon reflects light like my snow, and my crystalline structure refracts and bends light even further. I also absorb sound, making for a nice, quiet winter morning.
A black hole is absolute absorption, utter darkness pulling in everything with its powerful whirlpools of gravity, bending and warping light, and even space itself. Gravity is what pulls scattered cosmic dust together, compartmentalizing and organizing it into planets and stars. And so, the moon governs the winter trinity of water, ice, and night, and is associated with the gravitational force. And finally, we have the moon dragon. The first head is that of a cat or lynx, symbolic for hidden secrets and mystery. The second head is of fish and whales, for their connection to the flowing rhythm of the ocean. And the third head is a bat, representing nighttime darkness and sleep. So there you have it, the four cardinal gods of the sun, moon, earth, and sky, the primordial building blocks of my mythology. But the question remains, what do we get when we put them all together? This brings us full circle back to the special extra fifth element of all those four element systems, ether, or more specifically, the form of the ether that is the unity of the four cardinal gods, life. This is expressed in how 4 seasons make up a year and its cycle of birth, prosperity, aging, death, and birth again, or how mainly 4 periodic elements compose our amino acids and form our organic bodies, and even our DNA in how it's based off 4 different bits of genetic code. The union of the 4 cardinal gods is what makes life flourish. The earth provides us with food, or provides food for our food. The sun provides energy, though deep-sea thermal vents can follow the same principle. The sky, more so the atmosphere, fills our lungs with air. And the moon, or as it represents water, is, well, it's water. But more specifically, the 4 cardinal gods represent the true ingredients and components necessary for life, the combination of which allows dead components to form life.
The first component comes from the earth dragon, which is material. After all, you can't build a house without something to build it with. And it's not just about raw substance. It also needs malleability to form unique structure to serve purpose and to hold that form, to remain, in part, unmoving.
The sun dragon provides metabolism, the ability to process and convert material and energy into usable power. Metabolism is the consumption of fuel, like how the sun burns hydrogen to make radiation, how a furnace burns wood to make heat, or how our bodies burn calories to provide energy to the rest of our components and allow them to work.
Then there's the component of information, brought by the sky dragon. When you think about it, all the energy in the world won't do much unless properly directed. Like our brain commands our other components on a day-to-day basis, our DNA information commands our components on a molecular and chemical basis. Luckily for us, information naturally collects over time, in pockets at the very least.
And lastly, from the moon dragon, we get the component of compartmentalization. Like how gravity forms distinct celestial bodies from the haze of stardust, as are we organized into distinguishable parts and bubbles that interact with each other in a way that separates us from a puddle of mud with the same material as our bodies.
With the cardinal gods working together in harmony, material is organized and given instruction and energy to do so, all together forming life. And that wraps up this section on the 4 cardinal gods. Our next section will be going into the 6 reality gods. And to be honest, they're probably the most complex and abstract group in my pantheon, that technically aren't actually part of the pantheon. I don't know, even I have a hard time wrapping my head around them, even though they're in my head. Oh, the joys of insanity. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed. Here's my Patreon if you'd like to support me in creating this content. It will be greatly appreciated. And with no more ado, we here bid you hail and farewell. See you next time.